Two friends, one promise, 20 years ago. Tonight they meet again in the same doorway. But tonight, one man is a liar, and the other man already knows.
Chapter 1. The Man in the Doorway. It was almost 10 o'clock at night. The wind was cold and wet. Very few people walked along the dark street. A policeman moved slowly up the street. He was a tall, strong man. He checked each door as he walked past. He turned his club slowly in his hand. This was his beat, the streets he watched every night. Most of the shops on this street closed early. Only a few lights were still on, a cigar store here, a small restaurant there. Everything else was dark and quiet. The policeman stopped suddenly. A man stood in the doorway of a dark store. The man held a cigar in his mouth. The man said quickly,
It's all right, officer. I'm just waiting for a friend. We have an appointment. From 20 years ago.
The policeman stepped closer.
20 years ago?
The man said,
I know, it sounds funny.
He lit a match and held it to his cigar. The light showed his face for a moment. He had sharp, clever eyes. There was a small white scar near his right eyebrow. A large diamond pin shone on his chest. The man said,
20 years ago tonight, I ate dinner right here. There was a restaurant in this place, Big Joe Brady's. I ate with my best chum, Jimmy Wells.
The policeman said,
I remember that restaurant. They tore it down about 5 years ago.
Jimmy and I grew up together here in New York. We were like brothers. I was 18, Jimmy was 20. The next morning, I left for the West. I wanted to make my fortune out there.
The policeman asked,
And your friend?
Jimmy loved New York. He never wanted to leave. But that night, we made a promise. We agreed to meet right here in exactly 20 years. We both said we would come back, no matter what.
The man pulled out a handsome watch. Small diamonds covered the front of it. He said,
3 minutes to 10. It was exactly 10 o'clock when we said goodbye.
The policeman asked,
You did well out west?
Very well. I hope Jimmy did the same. He was a good man, but he was a little slow. A man like that stays in one place his whole life. I had to fight hard for my money.
The policeman turned his club slowly.
I should keep walking. I hope your friend comes.
The man said,
He'll come. If Jimmy is alive, he'll be here. I'll wait at least half an hour.
The policeman said,
Good night.
He walked away into the dark, still checking doors. Chapter 2. The Wrong Man. Now a cold drizzle began to fall. The wind blew harder. The few people still on the street walked quickly. They pulled their coats up high against the cold. Bob stood alone in the dark doorway. He smoked his cigar and waited. He came 1,000 miles for this appointment. He was sure Jimmy would come. 20 minutes passed. Then a tall man in a long overcoat hurried across the street. He pulled his coat up high around his ears. He walked straight to the doorway. The tall man asked,
Is that you, Bob?
Bob cried happily.
Is that you, Jimmy Wells?
The tall man grabbed both of Bob's hands.
It's really you, Bob. I knew I would find you here. 20 years is a very long time.
Bob said,
It sure is. The old restaurant isn't here now, Jimmy. I wish we could eat there again.
The tall man asked.
How is the West, old friend?
Bob said proudly,
It gave me everything I wanted. You look different, Jimmy. I think you grew. You're much taller now.
The tall man said,
Well, people change after 20 years. Come on, Bob. I know a nice place near here. We can sit down and talk about old times.
They walked together up the street. Bob talked happily about his money and his life. He told story after story about the West. The tall man listened quietly. They came to a corner. A drugstore stood there bright with many lights. The light fell on both their faces. Bob stopped walking. He turned and looked hard at the tall man's face. Then he stepped back quickly. Bob said sharply,
You're not Jimmy Wells. 20 years is a long time, but it cannot change a man's nose completely.
The tall man's voice became cold and serious.
It sometimes changes a good man into a bad one. You are under arrest, Bob. Chicago wants to talk to you about some crimes. Will you come quietly?
Bob stood very still. His face was white. The tall man said,
That's a wise choice. Now, before we go, I have something for you.
Chapter 3, Jimmy's Note. The tall officer reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small piece of paper. He said,
Someone asked me to give you this.
Bob took the note. He held it under the drugstore light. His hand was still at first, but as he read, his fingers began to shake. The note said,
Bob, I was at the appointment on time tonight. I was the policeman you talked to in the doorway. When you lit your match, I saw your face. I knew you were the man wanted in Chicago. But I couldn't arrest my old friend myself, so I walked away and found a plainclothes officer to do it. Patrolman Wells.
Bob read the note again slowly. He folded it carefully and put it in his pocket. Jimmy kept his promise. He came to the appointment just like he promised. He stood right there in the doorway. He talked to Bob face to face. But Jimmy was also a policeman. He had his duty. He saw Bob's face in the match light. He knew the truth. His old chum was now a wanted man. Jimmy couldn't arrest Bob himself. That was too hard, so he found another way. He sent someone else to do it. Bob looked up at the officer. He said nothing. There was nothing to say. The drizzle fell softly on the dark street. The two men walked away together into the dark. Bob still had Jimmy's note in his pocket, 20 years as friends, folded into a small piece of paper.